Yo, what's going on right now? You locked into the Vibes Blvd Podcast, hosted by the one and only First D. And let me just say this: it's always a good time that we're together on the Boulevard. However, this episode doesn't really contain any good topics, but we're gonna get into that later. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast, follow this page, make sure you got your notifications turned on so you can stay up to date. We about to go ahead and get into it. Let's do it.
Vibes Blvd Podcast. What's going on, y'all? This your boy First D.
Vibes Blvd Podcast.
First D, you in the den with First D.
We on site at the Grand in Monroe, Georgia.
The job for me.
Yeah, man, we live right now.
I'm a real deal student of the game.
You were locked into the Vibes Blvd Podcast. I'm doing something different for this episode. I've been experimenting different things here and there. So right now we're actually live on YouTube. This is the first live that I'm doing. So I'm, trying to figure it all out. I got everything set up. I think I got everything set up properly, but we'll find out when it's over with. But yeah, man, like I was saying, this is always a good time that we're together on the Boulevard, even though this particular episode doesn't really contain any good topics. We're gonna still do what we do, and I think the main thing is with all the negativity and stuff that's going on, keeping your sense of humanity and just staying grounded, because it's crazy. It's crazy out here. Yeah, man. Before we get into it, over the last week or so, I've been had a lot of engagement. The engagement is still going up, so I appreciate that. So the subscriber count is going up. It's doing what it do. It's not moving quite as fast as the views and the likes and all of that, but I definitely see everything going in the upper trajectory. So I do appreciate that. Make sure y'all keep tapping in. Tell all your people to tap in. It's the Vibes Blvd Podcast, man. You know. Mississippi. What's going on in Mississippi, man? So, this first topic that I'm going to get into, I actually had someone in the comments on Facebook bring this to my attention, because I had heard something about it. I may have scrolled past something about it, but I didn't have any details. So this right here is a situation that actually took place in Jackson, Mississippi. All right, if you're looking at the video version of the podcast, you see on your screen Tasia Fortune. What happened to Tasia Fortune? What happened to Tasia Fortune? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the audio of a news report. It's an ABC news report. I'm going to let that play, and then I'm going to jump in with my take on everything. It's crazy. Crazy.
Fears about a lot of people sparking fears about racially motivated murders.
There we go.
Tasia Fortune's death has alarmed a lot of people, sparking fears about racially motivated murders. Now, police haven't said exactly how she died, but this morning, her mother telling our team that she knows her daughter did not do this to herself.
This morning, growing demands for answers in Mississippi after a 29-year-old mother of four was found dead, hanging from a tree.
We're going to
press this as far as we can press it until she gets justice.
Tasia Fortune's body was discovered last week behind a vacant house in Jackson. The family telling ABC News the circumstances surrounding her death do not add up.
Tasia loved living life. Like, there's no way that she took her own life.
The Jackson Police Department saying, quote, an active death investigation is underway. They have not named any suspects and declined to comment on local reports that they questioned the father of one of Fortune's children about the death. Court records show Terrence Anderson, who's behind bars on an unrelated weapons charge, lives on the same street block where Fortune's body was found.
No one's trying blaming Ted or anything like that. You know, we just want answers.
Meanwhile, concern growing in the community and among local leaders given Mississippi's troubling history with lynchings and racially motivated killings. In the last year, Mississippi police have responded to 2 other tree-hanging deaths. Both were ruled suicides. Fortune's family rallying around her young children as they navigate this tragic loss.
She was a good mom, you know. She loved her kids and she loved her family.
And even though Tasia's death has sparked conversation about racially motivated murders, her mother tells our team that she does not want her daughter's name associated with that. There is an autopsy that's pending and should determine whether there was foul play involved in her death. Right now, though, police are urging anyone with information about how this young mother died to step forward.
Y'all, look at this.
Tasia Fortune.
Yeah, so pretty much what happened in this situation, this 29-year-old mother of 4 was found hanging from a tree in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. Now, you can see here from the image, this is, well, she's a black woman. However, she is biracial, white mother, black father. And, you know, I hate to even make that a thing, especially after the mother having said she doesn't want her daughter to be associated with any of the race-related conversations surrounding this situation. And I'm sure that her mother doesn't want that to be mentioned, but you know, the reality of it is, that's a very real component. Again, this took place in Jackson, Mississippi. It seems that Tasia is the child of a biracial couple. I'm not sure if the parents are still together, but I know that could be controversial in those sort of areas. And again, we don't know what happened, so I'm not saying with 100% certainty that it was race related. But I will say this. And I say this for any other situation that has taken place in the past. Like, unless we have footage, like real footage showing it happen, I don't believe any black person is going to purposely hang themselves from a tree. Like, it's a lot, you know, when you want to, I imagine when you're at that point to where you just feel like you have to go and you're gonna commit that sort of act. You know, it gets to a point where you know you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I just don't believe, I'm not of the belief that a black person would hang themselves from a tree. I'm not saying that I'm right. That's my opinion. I'll never believe it throughout any situation, unless there's some, like I said, some sort of footage showing this thing happen. An autopsy, like they said in the news report, an autopsy is being performed. The results haven't been released yet. I'm not sure if the autopsy is complete at this point, but I suppose once the autopsy comes out, we'll be able to see if there was a struggle before it took place, if it seemed that this wasn't a self-assisted situation. But right now we don't know. But I just wanted to point that out because, like I said, someone in the comments brought it to my attention. And with the Nolan Wells situation recently taking place July 4th in Mississippi on Horn Island, you know, it seems to be a lot going on down in Mississippi. and not just a lot going on, but a lot of things going on that are unanswered, that seem to just have no explanation. So I want to know what's happening out there in Mississippi. Like what's going on? I think per capita, Mississippi is one of the it is one of the deadliest states in the United States. I don't know, man. It's one of those places that when you don't want to talk about the race component, when you want to steer away from that, you can't help it. You can't help but bring that part up, because that's a very, very real thing, especially in any place like that. You know, we talking about in the South. There's a deep history of hangings, of lynchings in Mississippi, and I don't know. Like whenever we see this type of thing happen, it's real sketchy to me. I don't have the answers. I'm in the dark completely, just like the next person. But again, I'm not of the belief that a black person would do this, but would hang themselves from a tree on purpose. I don't believe it. And until the evidence comes out, and until they release the findings of the investigation, I'm gonna stick with that. And you know, for me, I'm so to the point to where even once investigative findings do come out, if it's saying that this individual did it themselves, now I think the investigation is tainted. I mean, it's messed up, and it's bad to say, but that's really where I'm at with it. So we're going to continue to pay attention to this situation, pay attention to this case, to see what happens, to see what we can find out about it. It's very unfortunate. 29-year-old mother of four, Tasia Fortune, found hanging from a tree in the back of an abandoned house in Jackson, Mississippi. At this point, no suspects. Yeah, this particular episode, like I said, not too many good topics. Not any good topics, really. You know, it's been a few days since the last episode. I had to come give y'all something, and this is what we had today. This next one is one of the most disgusting things that you're gonna hear about, especially when it comes to law enforcement. This person right here, I sincerely hope that their stint behind bars is 100 times worse than the sort of abuse that they inflicted. So I'm gonna get into what happened. I'm gonna play a news clip like we did before, and then I'm gonna jump into it and give my take on it. If you're looking at the video version of the podcast, you see on your screen right now, Marcellis Blackwell, Officer Marcellis Blackwell. Well, I'm sure at this point he's a former officer, but let's get into what Mr. Blackwell really had going on.
As prosecutors read through accounts of 18 men in handcuffs being sexually abused by a former North County Police cooperative officer. 36-year-old Marcellis Blackwell pleaded guilty to 18 counts involving kidnapping and depriving victims of their rights. It turns out he was doing this during a time we interviewed him for an unrelated report about officer recruiting. This was in 2023, shortly before he was accused of molesting men in his custody. A prosecutor read through each accusation, saying Blackwell turned off his body cam each time and recorded his acts with his own cell phone. Blackwell acknowledged his guilt without saying anything else. U.S. Attorney Thomas Albus came out to speak after the hearing.
Sad day in a lot of ways. This frankly disgusting conduct that you heard recounted to Judge Lanahan that Mr. Blackwell did accept responsibility for. You know, we think of the victims today, and they were in a particularly vulnerable situation.
Blackwell was coming up on his trial date, which would have meant those cell phone videos would be played to a jury. So it's not much of a surprise Blackwell took this plea. He's looking at a 30-year recommended prison sentence.
Well, Chris, how was all of this uncovered?
One of the victims, one of the last victims, pointed out that this was done to him and it was recorded. So the co-op worked with the FBI and found videos on his Google Drive.
Wow. So was he committing these crimes at the police station?
In his car. And part of the charges that he pleaded guilty to, kidnapping. And it came out that he took one of his victims to Normandy High School bus lot to do this.
Wow.
Man, what the heck? Like, I don't know if there's any type of officer that's worse than this type. This guy, Marcellis Blackwell, 18 men. Now imagine, now just think about this. We finna walk through it. Think about the feeling that you get when you driving, or you know, when you maneuvering around and you see the old blue lights, and you know they're for you. Heart drop to the pit of your stomach, drop down to your knees, to your ankles, depending on what you got going on. Imagine you going through that process, like, damn, I'm about to get locked up. Damn, I'm about to go to jail, man. You dealing with that. But then the motherfucker that locked you up, got you in handcuffs, take you somewhere. Got you in the car handcuffed, take you somewhere, and begin to sexually assault you. And not only sexually assault you while you handcuffed, on the way to jail, but he films it. What kind of sick, twisted, evil, demented, perverted, disgusting motherfucker is this? Like, it don't even make sense. This shit here don't even make sense. And I hate that he went ahead and pled guilty. I mean, when you caught, you caught. I hate that he pled guilty, so it didn't go to trial, and so the videos don't get shown. Not because I want to see the videos. I want the people of the court to be able to have seen those videos, so he can experience that true shame, knowing this shit don't got released, knowing people don't see this shit. But on the other hand, you got to ask yourself: does a person like this even experience shame? Like what? Now, we don't know, at this point, we don't really know much information about this guy. Like, I don't know if he was an openly gay man, or if this was something that he had going on just strictly in the closet type shit. But I just know it seemed to be all men that he did this to. So I'm going to assume that he is at least bi. Let's I don't know, man. Like, we hear all the time about officers getting into this position and taking advantage of the power. We hear about all the time officers getting into that type of position and being power hungry, but it's usually more forceful violence type stuff. Like, it's usually like overtly harassing, like giving a ticket when not necessary, or you know what I'm saying, like that just overbearing, just going a little too hard at the job type shit. This motherfucker here took power hungry to a whole new level. Like, and the thing is, bro, if you were into handcuffing men and doing what you do with them, it's men out there you could have found that's into that type of shit, bro. Like, you could you could have found it out there. Like, anything that you can think of in this world is probably out there for the taking. You just got to know. I guess you just got to know where to look. And I don't know, man. Like, as a police officer, you're in a position where, well, first of all, you're a public officer. So, you know, you working for the people. You're put in a position of trust. And this is how you do. Man, I hope this joker run into some folks he don't locked up in that motherfucker. Oh, I hope he run into some folks he don't locked up. And to be honest, it wouldn't even matter. He double fuck. No pun intended. But the reason I say that is because number one, you finna go to chain gang as a police officer, as a former police officer. That's enough. You finna have you gonna have a little ride already. But now you got these sorts of crimes, man. They finna get in there and wear his ass out. They finna get him in there and wear his ass out. And there's nothing short of what he deserves. Marcellis Blackwell, former officer Marcellis Blackwell. See this type of behavior right here? This type of shit, I put you in a worse category than the racist police. I put you in the worst category than the racist police. Like I'm not rocking with either, with either, but to be honest, man, I look at you worse than I look at the racist pigs. Like that's horrible, bro. And the worst part about it is these people that he did this to, man, they changed forever after that. You're never gonna be the same after that. And it's the police. And then you see, I'm sure it went on for so long because the motherfucker think, who you gonna call? It's the police doing this. He probably telling them, oh shit, we all in on it. Go ahead and call them. Yeah, call them. And man, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Let's boo this motherfucker here. Boo! Marcellus Wilder, you ain't worth a nickel. You ain't worth a penny. This what you need to hear. What you gonna hear. And oh boy, they gonna ride you. Oh, Marcellus Blackwell, they gonna ride you. And you deserve every bit of it. Every single bit of it. That's just horrible. That's horrible. I don't know what this world is coming to. And the thing about it, I guess the worst part about it is knowing that this, like, he's not the first officer to do something like this, and what's even more worse is that he's not gonna be the last, because it's some sick. This world is full of sick, just sick, evil motherfuckers that like to the point it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Horrible. It's crazy, man, like that. I don't even know, man. Matter of fact, before I get into the next topic, we're gonna just vibe out for a little minute. Because this right here, we gotta wipe that up off us right there. That right there, that's too much. We're gonna just vibe for a little minute, man.
The Vibes Blvd Podcast.
These folks, yeah, bro.
The Vibes Blvd Podcast. Vibes Blvd Podcast. Tune into the Vibes Blvd Podcast. Tell a friend about Vibes Blvd Podcast. Go ahead and share if you love Vibes Blvd Podcast. Welcome to the Vibes Blvd Podcast. Oh yeah, Vibes Blvd
Yeah, we ahead and get into this next topic. And for this topic, man, I need all my conspiracy theorists to come to the front. If you have a tinfoil hat, go ahead and put it on. If you have a tinfoil hat, go ahead and put it on. Need all my conspiracy theorists to the front. Seriously. All right, so a simple question, man. What is going on with our food? What's going on? Now, it seems like every other week it's another food item that's contaminated with something. I'm talking about this happening back to back. You got out the jalapenos. Matter of fact, let me, cause I got some notes. This is crazy. All right, so there have been several high-profile food recalls and alerts issued across the United States due to various types of contamination. All right, these contamination issues are generally characterized into biological contaminants, bacteria and parasites, physical contaminants like foreign materials, and environmental or chemical contaminants. So we've had some recent food items with biological contaminants. Salsa guacamole recalled by Taylor Farms this month across 26 states due to potential salmonella contamination. Jalapenos subject to that same outbreak, salmonella. Meat and poultry products. This is also this was issued this month. They issued a public health alert. The USDA, various meat and poultry items containing potentially contaminated ingredients. Iceberg lettuce, sourced from Central Mexico by Taylor Farms. Man, what's going? Why are we still getting food from Taylor Farms? We getting this food from Taylor Farms out there in Mexico. I want to know why. And I want to know if it, like, here's where the conspiracy come in, because it's just too much back to back. Now y'all tell me this place out in Mexico. Hold on, let me get my tinfoil hat right. All right, it's out in Mexico. Dude, is the cartel fucking with our food? And then like, of all the plate, like all this land in America, like, I don't know, man. Why is it not being grown here? And then, you know, even still, like it's not like we're completely free of American grown, American made food being contaminated. Like, it's happening. I don't know, man. It seems like to me that this is something that's done on purpose. It's overt, and I want to know who's behind it. Now, Taylor Farms is responsible for a few different food items. Taylor Farms out there in Mexico. And like I said, like, is it the Mexican government that's involved? Like, is the cartel's got a hand in it? What's going on? Is it just that farm is just? Are they that bad? Did they just get this bad? Are they under new management now? Like what's going on? Like, how is Taylor Farms all of a sudden shipping out all this bad product? And then the stores that it's going into, like good luck thinking that you're gonna shop at a different store and not run into it. They distribute it to everybody, all the big boys, everybody. It's to the point now where you damn near got to grow it in your own yard where you can lay eyes on it and you maintaining it yourself. Because why like eggs, like what, man? What's going on? All this meat, vegetables. A few months back, it was raspberries, blueberries. Like what's going on with our food supply. And you're not gonna convince me that this is just something that's coincidentally happening. Nope. My conspiracy, my thought is that it's a conspiracy to get us to all. They're trying to mess up all the food. They're trying to mess up all the food, and they're gonna push us to now the only safe food to eat is the synthetic, the 3D printed food, the lab grown food. Everything else contaminated. You gotta get the 3D printed meat now. You gotta get the lab grown fruits and vegetables. All the other stuff is contaminated. That's what I think. But why would they try to push us to eat all the synthetic food, the lab grown food, the 3D printed food? Why would they push us to do that? Because they're controlling this food at a genetic level, down to the genetic level. If it's something that they're trying to spread across a population of people, put it in the food. We don't know what that food will do to us long term. We don't know what that food will, how it will affect us long term. And my thought is, a lot of the different tactics that they've tried over the years to get rid of a large number of people, like the population control tactics, they haven't worked. And so they got to throw something else at the drawing board. Let's try this right here out. Let's contaminate all the food. In the process of us contaminating the food, it's gonna take out some anyway. But the ones that don't take out, now they're gonna be left with a messed up food supply that they don't have access to no more. They got to eat the lab grown, 3D printed, synthesized fake shit. And that contains whatever the hell they want it to contain. They could put something in it that's gonna knock you out fast, or they can be sneaky with it and put something in it that's gonna knock you out slow. Over time, over years of consuming it, cancer, other sort of ailments, all type of bullshit. Now what the hell we gonna do? Like it's one thing, like it's bad if you black in America, man, you already you got that the first, because your appearance is the first thing they see. You got that working against you first. But now it's like, through all the discrimination and stuff we got to go through all the bullshit, all the, not getting picked and not, through all this shit we got to go through. Now we can't eat the food. Man, go ahead on with this shit here. But that's what's going on, man. What can we do? The food supply, bro. The food supply. Like, what we gonna do to these folks messing with the food supply? Crazy. And I can't say, just like all the other crazy stuff I end up talking about, I can't say that I'm shocked by it, because I'm not. But even though it's something that in the back of my mind I might suspect them to do, or even though it's something that I feel like, well, if they're trying to control the population, this is what they'll do. They'll definitely have to put something in the food. That's what I'm thinking. But to see it kind of start to unfold, yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, man, I mean, yeah, I feel like it's gonna come a time where everybody, each individual household, gonna have to be responsible for growing, maintaining their own food, killing their own food. You eat what you kill. Seems like in many ways, as we push forward towards the future, in many ways we are getting pulled back into the past. Like, we getting pulled back into an older way of doing things. A way of doing things that worked for humans much longer than what we're doing now has worked. You know, it was several hundreds or several thousands of years that people grew things and ate off the land and did this for themselves. It hasn't been so many years where it's been, we have grocery stores where you got these companies, these large farms and these facilities that's responsible for growing the food and shipping it out, distributing it to different places. That hasn't been going on for as long as humans been into agriculture. So maybe just another one of those things we got to strip back, roll it back, and get back to that old way of doing things that was never really broken. People just, I feel like we just started getting lazy. Things of convenience always come at a cost. That's why I think about it. The biggest example of this that everybody is experienced with is the convenience store. Because you have the convenience of not going to the supermarket or going to the pharmacy for certain items. When you go to the convenience store, everything is higher than it would be if you were to go to a supermarket, a bigger store. You pay for that convenience. You pay for them being open later. You pay for them having it right there lined up for you. Convenience comes at a cost. Convenience comes at a cost. And with that being said, I guess I'm going to kind of let that kick us over into the next topic. So we're going to stick with convenience comes at a cost. Right now on the screen, you see U.S. and Israel versus Iran. The war in the Middle East continues. Drop a bomb. Yeah, the war in the Middle East continues. Man, it's hard. It's hard to not get depressed when you turn on your TV, when you pull out your phone and start scrolling, and you see all this negative stuff happening within the country. But then you see on a global scale, we have this war going on over there in Iran, and we know that Israel has a lot to do with it. So it's like we fighting this war that we really didn't have no business even going into, and then we're being led by a president that don't seem to know what he has going on, and he just turned 80, so he really don't care because he might not even be around for much longer. It's very depressing. And it's like that convenience that we had, the world had of travel through the Strait of Hormuz, it came at a cost. It was so convenient to transport goods through that channel. It was so convenient to transport these barrels of oil, millions and millions and millions upon millions of barrels of oil per day. For the world, convenient for the world. But the cost of that convenience is that there's a country, a pretty sizable country, that sits right there, that if you were to piss them off, they can shut it down. That country I'm referring to is Iran. And right now I'm not trying. What I'm not trying to do is get into who's right and who's wrong. Like, we're in the war right now. It's happening. I don't feel like we should be a part of it, but for the sake of what we're talking about now, that's not even what I'm trying to get into. But it's just the fact that militarily and strategically, you would think if you're gonna go into a conflict with a country like this, with a country that is that close to such an important passageway for the world economy, think the whole strategy through before popping off that conflict. I truly think that Pete Hegseth did not receive the proper information. Donald Trump didn't receive the proper information. Either they received improper information or they received proper information and just didn't give a damn and went through with it anyway. At this point, this conflict has been going on several months. It was supposed to be a few days. It's supposed to be a couple weeks. It's supposed to be a month, 3 months. Each timeline of expectation that we're being told it has not been met. Right now, you have reports of naval Navy men on these ships saying they can't take baths, they don't have soap, they not having food, they can't eat. Man, our missile stockpiles are being depleted because the intelligence that we had just wasn't right. We didn't, and when I say we, I'm speaking about the United States military, the United States government. We just didn't think Iran had what they have proven to have. We didn't think they were ready. We thought they had us thinking it's a third world shithole country. That's what Trump calls them. They had us thinking that this country couldn't do it. But at the same time, they're also trying to convince us that they were trying to build a nuclear weapon, and that's the biggest threat to the world. This country Iran that they say is a third world country. They don't have nothing, but some kind of way they're able to build a nuclear weapon, which was always strange in itself. But now we're neck deep in this conflict, in this war, and it's all behind Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu and them wanting to take over the entire Middle East. That's what I feel like, from my opinion, my perspective. And man, it's crazy that this is still going on. In America, we're feeling the effects. We still haven't begun to fully feel the effects that I know many countries throughout the world have been experiencing on a heavier scale than us at this point. We haven't been feeling them like that, but we've been feeling the effects. Like I said in a few episodes ago, definitely at the gas pumps. You're starting to see prices of other goods go up as well, and you're starting to see things just being out of stock, certain items being out of stock. As y'all go to the stores and travel, going to and fro, just pay attention to that. Pay attention to how the gas prices will spike, and pay attention to how you go in the store and it seems like no matter what store you go into, certain items just don't seem to be on the shelves. It's this conflict, this war that's happening over in the Middle East. Make no mistake about it. As far as we know, nothing has happened on American soil when it comes to this war, as far as reported, as far as we know. Now, whether or not any of the isolated incidents that have occurred was funded by Iran, or we don't know that for certain. That's something that the CIA and the NSA would have information about. So as far as we know, nothing on American soil. But make no mistake about it, we're feeling it in America. And as long as this war continues, we're gonna begin to feel it more and more and more and more. And it's like, from what I see, for the most part, the American people aren't with it. A majority of the American people aren't with it. And so when you have a majority of people just against this, and then there was never any votes through Congress to even say, hey, we're going to go to war. There was never really a real declaration of war. it shows that these people at the top in Washington do what the hell they want to do. They're not answering to the American people. They're not answering to the American people. They're doing what they want to do because the American people don't want this at all. We want the troops back home. We want to stay out these folk business. What's going on in the Middle East? They've been had whatever. Look, everything was working. The Strait of Hormuz was open. You know, the goods was flowing. The oil was flowing. Let them work it out how they gonna work it out. We don't have to jump in everybody business. And then it ain't even that we jump in everybody's business. We jump in Israel business. Or they force us into their business. And that's not what the American people want. And I don't know, man. Until we get some people in Washington that's gonna stand up, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. So we get some people that's gonna stand up and say, hey, I'm gonna be on the right side of history. Yeah, I might be Republican, but I gotta go against the crazy Republicans at this point, or I might be Democrat, but I can't rock with these crazy Democrats at this point. Like we need some people that's gonna get in there. Don't be afraid to stand up and say, look, man, if it don't make sense, it don't make sense. And that's it. It's not like it. It's nothing else to be said about it. Right now, our leadership is deplorable. You have our president. He said that he's been saying we're on the cusp of a deal. Iran wants a deal so bad. Iran wants a deal. We're gonna make a deal. We're 1 day away from a deal. We're 2 weeks away from a deal. The one time they did sign something, the memorandum of understanding, they let Israel fuck it up. Israel they didn't stop bombing shit. They didn't stop bombing Lebanon, and so because of that, Iran kicked it back off. Israel fucked up the memorandum of understanding that we had. And it's like he continues to say they want a deal. They continue to come out. Their leaders continue to come out and say they don't want a deal. And we the American people just got to sit back and watch this shit, man. We just got to sit back and look at all this shit take place. Crazy, bro. Crazy. But one thing I do know, and this is something that no matter what the people in Washington say, no matter how they feel about it, one thing we know for certain is there is a midterm election coming up this fall, and they're gonna have to answer to the way they've been handling things. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the American people have not been going for it. If polls mean anything, if these polls that have been coming out, if they mean anything, the American people have been going for it, and they're not gonna go for it. And it's gonna definitely be a change. Some people might be afraid of the change. Some people don't want to see it happen. Man, it's gonna happen. And I think ultimately the things that we do see take place this fall, it's gonna be for the betterment of the country overall. We just gotta hold out, man, and just try to pay attention to the stuff that's going on. Try to pay attention to the things being said in the news. Don't just watch one network because you got the right leaning networks, you got the left leaning networks. Look at multiple news coverage of it from multiple sources, and just pay attention to what's going on. So when everything does pop off, or if it does start to get more ugly than what it is, you'll be prepared, you'll be ready, you'll be kind of in the know and expecting what's happening to have happened. And if you just absolutely don't feel like watching any of those networks or tapping into any of those news outlets because you don't trust none of them, you can tap in with me right here on the Vibes Blvd Podcast, because I'm gonna give it to you straight. Of course, I'm gonna let you know my opinion, but I'm definitely gonna let you know unbiasedly what's happening. I'm gonna let you know unbiasedly what's happening, and you know, I think that's what we need more of. Like I'm not I'm not trying to stand in the place of a journalist, although a lot of what I do as I'm trying to prepare for the podcast, like getting topics together or whatnot, a lot of that is journalism, but I'm not approaching everything that I'm doing from a journalistic standpoint. It's more, this is definitely more opinion based, but I'm gonna give you the facts before I give you the opinion. And if that means anything, tap in with me and you're gonna hear about it. If it's something that I don't talk about, something that I don't mention that's going on, hit me in the comments. Let me know about it. Shoot me a DM. Let me know about it. Hey, First D, we want to hear you talk about this. Hey, First D, we want to see you cover this. But for the most part, I talk about the things that come across my feed, things that I brought up through conversations with friends. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. And I believe as far as our topics go, we've gotten to that point of the podcast where we about to come to a close. And if you made it to this part of the video, no matter what platform you catch it, if you made it to this part of the podcast, if you listen to the audio only version of it, I appreciate you. That means you're really rocking with me. I need you to tell a friend about the Vibes Blvd Podcast, man. And I know if y'all have been tapping in with me since I've been doing this third season of the podcast, you have seen a few changes as far as the format of the show. I think I got it now. My last three episodes, I think, have had this same sort of format. I figured out a better way of getting the graphics to you. Everything's good, man. I got my settings locked in, so we're not gonna be having any funny sounding mics, anything like that. I got some good original music that's not gonna get flagged, so we can play music when we need to and vibe out like that. But yeah, man, this is the part of the show, man. We come to an end. Like I said, man, I appreciate everybody for making it to this part of the podcast. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this podcast. Like, share, no matter what platform you catch it on. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll stay up to date and you'll be notified when I do new drops. Yeah, man, it's the Vibes Blvd Podcast, hosted by the one and only First D. We out.
Vibes Blvd Podcast. What's going on, y'all? This your boy First D.
Vibes Blvd Podcast.
First D. You in the den with First D.
We on site at the Grand in Monroe, Georgia.
The job for me.
Yeah, man, we live right now.
I'm a real deal student of the game.